Alright everybody, this is Joe, and I wanted to show you guys my gasifier. So let's just go over it for a second. Alright, there's a traditional downdraft gasifier. It uses a wood and burns it upside down to raise the temperature of the burn. Reduces the amount of smoke that you produce during the burn of wood. Wood gets put into the top of the gasifier. The weight of the wood makes it fall down into the hearth of the burner, and the wood in the upper portion of the gas of the burner gets turned into char prior to being burned. The setup demoisturizes the wood and raises the temperature of the burner as well. The excess moisture gets trapped up here in the lid. Up in here there's a little trap in here. Right in here, this little ridge. So all the moisture gets collected on the lid, falls down, runs down on the sidewall, traps in here, and then it can evaporate off from there. So the air intake on this burner is right there on this little 3/8 hose. You can see it on the right side how it wraps back around. It wraps around the burner on the hottest part, and the goal is to raise the temperature of the burn to get a more efficient burn. By starving the flame of air, we get wood gas. This wood gas comes out of the burner on the bottom. Comes out of the burner right here in this little pipe. Travels into the cyclone air filter, which is right here. Collects larger pieces of ash and particles. The next step is the gas cooler. Right here. The gas cooler has ash caps on the bottom to easily remove the ash that has traveled this far. Then there's a shut-off valve right here. The shut-off valve is before the bubbler, which is this little Heineken bottle right here. And that bubbler prevents a backfire. So, and during the startup, I got this blower over here that's tied onto the same gas line that comes off the burner. So we gotta suck some air out of the burner in the beginning of the startup process. And if I would just turn that suction on, it would suck out the water out of this bubbler. So I had to put a shut-off valve right here, so the bubbler contains the water that I put in it. But after that, there's a fuel filter, just a regular gasoline fuel filter, just meant to trap the ashes left in the gas. At this point, the gas is pretty cold, or colder anyway, cold enough to be injected directly into the mixing right here, where I mix the air into it with the gas so it can enter the engine. In this gas, if this gasifier is combined with a water-cooled engine, the water cooling cycle can be used to warm radiant floor heating right here. In my case, for testing purposes, I have a 5 horsepower Briggs & Stratton engine I had sitting around the house, and used a laundry machine motor, which is right in here, and a pulley tensioner right here that tensions the belt. And there's an old laundry machine motor in here that actually I used to crank this engine, since the pull start on it is broke, and I really don't want to mess with pull start anyway, so I can just flip a switch and it cranks the motor over, and hopefully it will fire up. So let's see. Alright, the startup of this is pretty easy. I have a vacuum that I set around the corner right here on the suction line. I already pre-filled all my wood all the way to the top. So now I just gotta close this. Right down here is the lighting port, so let's light this in here. Gotta open the valve over here first. See the smoke come out the top. So anyway, you just light it in here. You can see it burn now. Now we're starving it of the air. So now here it is with the blower unit working on the back here. You can hear the suction on it. I'm fixing to crank the motor on. You're gonna see mainly the bubbles over here on the bottle. It probably won't fire since I don't have any good enough wood to actually get this running right. So maybe in the next couple of weeks. I knew I'd get the baby to run. So anyway, that's my first run.